findings from research in educational neuroscience really help to guide educators and parents and all individuals working with learners across the lifespan to really bridge research to practice, to be able to establish connections for educators to learn better about who their learners are, what their needs are, and how we can proactively scaffold for what they need in any given moment across the lifespan. Really, the findings from educational neuroscience, I believe, destigmatize a lot of struggling learners, individuals who may have different challenges that arise that they might not understand, when essentially every behavior that we see in and outside of a classroom really tells a story. And oftentimes, educational neuroscience can help us fill in some of the gaps as to what's happening. And ultimately, the more that we know about how the thinking brain works and how it interacts with different variables and stimuli in the environment, and how emotion and perception, all these different cognitive components of how our brain is functioning, it allows us to better understand what's needed and where we're headed.
The idea of education and neuroscience and the big words it involves may be overwhelming to some educators. However, I particularly like how Rushton presents 4 basic principles in simple terms, which refer to how one can tap into the mental, emotional, social, and physical life of these young beings by understanding brain development and linking this to learning. Firstly, we must keep in mind that each child has a unique brain which thinks, feels, and learns in different ways. Therefore, one strategy, even if effective for one child, may not be applicable to all children. Secondly, brain development continuously occurs as one adapts to the environment they are in, and this development is determined by the stimulation offered within. This is most prominent during the first 5 years of a child's life, during which billions of neurons are being connected for development to occur. Thirdly, the educator should take the role of the facilitator of a child's learning, during which children learn to learn and be given the opportunity to make choices and take decisions, whilst also allowing their emotions and feelings to be part of this equation. Fourthly, using inquiry-based learning strategies linked to real life, hands-on learning experiences which allow the student to ask questions, assisting the development of critical thinkers and activating the child's own natural desire to learn.
The contextual well-being helps us to understand that we have, in part, responsibility for the well-being of everyone in our shared environment, as much as everyone has responsibility for their own well-being. The more we understand contextual well-being, the more we can ask, how can we best meet the needs of this young person, rather than simply asking, how can we support them to feeling happier?